We are back at it again here with another video with the Invest for Tomorrow. To the first time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. To all subscribers, welcome back. All I ask for in return is for you guys to smash that like button. And here we are with the SPY. We're going to look over the S&P 500 index as well as the QQQ, right? We're going to look over the QQQs, which track the NASDAQ 100. And here we are with the SPY recovering all the losses that happened in the last 2 days in just one single day. And our SPY bot this morning sent out a bull indicator since 9:20 a.m. And from that moment forward, call options went up 400% plus within hours, guys. If you guys want to receive this clarity and edge over the charts, check out the link down below in the description to the Discord. And by joining, you'll become part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together and get connected to our SPY bot, QQQ bot, and our newly released Tesla bot. And we have other bots on the way, so that you can receive the clarity and edge that you deserve within the volatility of the market. So the SPY here is going to be very interesting going into tomorrow. Either it finds support and bounces off any slight pullback if it was to pull back and jump back up higher. And it's going to be very interesting as it tries to go ahead and break through 400.01 or $400 again. It's slightly below that, and we need to see what's going on. But before we break it all down, I want to share with you guys the home run opportunities I mentioned this morning over at the Discord. And as you see popping up here on the screen, these are some of the home runs I managed to find this week alone. And while it's not guaranteed to be this way every single time, we strive for opportunities like these every single day. So the home runs of the day were spectacular and beyond expectations. And if you guys want to know about these stocks early on in the pre-market and receive this edge and clarity over the charts with our 42 vision indicator, check out the link down below in the description to the Discord. So these are the 3 stocks I mentioned this morning. Every single one of them gave 20% plus, turning out to be a home run. And this is when we caught them in the pre-market. The first one here is IMRA, was pulling downwards towards the bell, had a pop up here with the first bull indicator and inflows crossing of 20% plus, sat sideways, got another bull indicator, full strength on 42 vision, inflows crossed back up and hit a highest point of 40% plus, guys. Now the other one here is SIDU, under a bull indicator, full strength on 42 vision, full strength on the inflows, and it hit a highest point within minutes of 30% plus, guys. And the other one was SPRO, pulling downwards towards the bell. The inflows crossed right after the bell, got that bull indicator and jumped up full strength on 42 vision to give a highest point of 20% plus, guys. If you guys want to know about these stocks early on in the pre-market, check out the link down below in the description to the Discord. We look forward to having you join us, and we strive for opportunities like these every single day. So here we are with the SPY in this tight range here, finding support, almost like a double bottom effect here, right? It bounced up, came back down, and it's bouncing up, and it's actually now slightly below the resistance of $400. This is a very interesting point here of what's going on, if it's going to go ahead and have more strength or lose strength really quickly going into tomorrow and the next few days, especially after tomorrow that Jay Powell is going to be speaking. So keep that in mind early on in the morning before the market opens. So here we are with the SPY having a full transition from the dip area to the rip area in the last several days, and then it came back down towards red bars, and it's shifting right back up towards bright green really quickly and actually fading and losing traction here near the recent highs here of 401. So this is a very interesting position of either having support, as I stated earlier in the video, to bounce up and try to break through that, or reject it very quickly right back down. Now I'm going to pull up the bull and bear indicators, which you can now gain access to as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator, getting connected to our SPY bot, our QQQ bot, our newly released Tesla bot, and we have other bots on the way so that you can receive the clarity and edge that you deserve within the volatility of the markets to maximize on opportunities. And you can now join the members using these resources to maximize in either direction by receiving this clarity and edge over the charts. And in today's video, I'm going to pull up the inflow versus outflow indicator, which you can now gain access to as well. The link is down below in the description by joining the 42 vision tier level. So here we are with the SPY under a bull indicator, and inflows crossed for the first time since they crossed to the downside, which was back here when this bear indicator popped up. Our last bull indicator popped up slightly after we crossed the inflows, and this bear indicator popped up slightly after we crossed the outflows a few days ago. But today, our inflows crossed right at the open. You could see it right there, and the bull indicator popped up a few bars after. So double confirmation of strength here, and continuing on the 30-minute for the first time, getting out of that dip area. And I talked about this in yesterday's video, how it was sitting sideways, and I was going to watch if these inflows can cross up and actually cross the midpoint. And here we are, and we got a bull indicator that canceled out this bear indicator. For those of you that watched yesterday's video, I broke this down, and as I broke it down, it happened, right? Found support above 388. It stayed away from going towards 385, and as it bounced back up, it broke above 394, 395, and right now it's battling between 395 and the next resistance level of 401. And here we are at 398 under a bull indicator and full strength here on the inflows. But in the after hours, even though the stock is sitting sideways, the outflows have began, and going into tomorrow, I'm going to be watching for these inflows to stay above the midpoint and not cross downwards here above this midpoint, stay and not come below it, because that would mean that the outflows are starting to dominate, and this bull indicator could lose traction pretty quickly, could get canceled out by a possible bear indicator to the downside. So I'm going to be watching that very carefully as tomorrow begins and how the volatility plays out. Now, when you zoom out and you look at this from the 1 hour, you could see here that the inflows are dominating right now. We got a bull indicator and a full transition up towards bright green again, but this bear indicator has been canceled, and we're back above and sitting sideways here with strength. So I want to see this actually pull up for another leg up if there's going to be some strength to continue and retest 400 and try to get back above it, or if these outflows begin, even if it pulls back, it's going to be important to stay above the midpoint if it comes back down. If it crosses it, we could see it start impacting the chart significantly like it did here back on September 2nd. That bear indicator, the red began, and once it crossed, it took it down from around 396 area all the way down to 388, almost an $8 to $10 move to the downside. So super important to be watching these levels very carefully. And on the 15-minute within the volatility, we're under a bull indicator. The inflows crossed to the upside. They stayed above for most of the day, slightly pulled back here towards the end of the day, but we're still above the midpoint. And that's how you could see the strength here of this whole entire chart not fully coming right back down, because those inflows are still above, and we want to see them stay above in multiple time frames, and we do not want to see a bear indicator. I'm going to be watching this very carefully going into tomorrow's volatility to maximize within the moves, right? So then we have here the QQQ, same exact setup, right? It got a bull indicator since yesterday, no bull indicator on the 15-minute, but those inflows got crossed. They've been above all day, slight pullback here, and still above the midpoint here in the after hours. It's going to be important to stay above it as well on the 15-minute, and on the 30-minute, same thing. We got a bull indicator a few moments after the inflows began right there at the bell. They crossed over, continued upwards, and then we got that bull indicator a few bars after, and the continuation started to go right in that upward trend. And then now recently going back from green to red, slight outflows, but we're still above that midpoint. We want to stay above this midpoint and not cross it to the downside or a bear indicator popping up in the process. And I'm going to be watching that on the 30-minute, on the 15-minute. And when you go to the 1 hour, same exact thing. Those inflows have crossed for the first time in 2 days, and they're slightly up and kind of just sitting sideways. It's going to be important to not come back down. If not, do the next leg up and continue with strength from here. But around these areas, you could see how many times it actually has rejected eventually and quickly shifted from green to red. And I'm going to be watching for that, because then once it crosses the midpoint, you could see how both times it's impacted the chart significantly. So this could be the strength before retesting the next resistance level and starting another bull run, or this could be the area where things are slowing down like it's done the 2 other times, as we see it here in the chart, where once it crossed those midpoints, the outflows started to dominate, those bear indicators followed, and the weakness actually took off, right, to the downside. So we do not want to see this pull back down and break through that midpoint. If it does, I'm going to be watching that area very carefully. And then we also have our bots tracking the 5-minute here and sending us direct notifications within the volatility, such as the QQQs here, sending us one at 8:45 a.m. and those inflows picked up. And then the bear indicator was at around 10:20, 10:15 a.m. and then it actually had these inflows stay above the midpoint, showing us that that was a weak downward pressure, right? Quickly came back up, sent us another bull indicator at around 11:15 a.m. and the inflow stayed above for most of the day based off the 5-minute on the QQQs. And same thing here with the SPY. It literally sent us a bear indicator in the pre-market, sent us that bull indicator as you saw earlier in the video, and things just stayed above with full strength throughout the rest of the day. And that's what we're going to try to maximize on here within the volatility, such as this other one here back on September 2nd. Those outflows got crossed slightly after that bear indicator, and that bear indicator popped up and it lasted for the rest of the day, and puts printed, guys. Same thing yesterday as well, right at the open. And this is what it's all about, having that clarity to maximize within the volatility and having an edge to not miss out on the opportunities that are right before us, right in front of us. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.